Good morning, students. Today we are discussing the dual nature of radiation and matter integrated video 9. In it, we are discussing the wave nature of matter upon it some numericals in it. First one numerical is the wavelength of an electron. An electron wavelength what they gave lambda e, and wavelength of proton they have lambda p. Both have same energy. Electron and proton have same energy, are related by. If they have same energy, then what you can write? What is the relation between these two wavelengths? So to know that, first we want to write the wavelength of an electron energy. That only we are solving that solution. How can you write now first? The wavelength of an electron energy. Electron energy is, okay. How can you write the wavelength in terms of, what can you write here? Lambda equal to lambda electron, lambda E equal to hc by E. From that energy E equal to what you can write? hc by lambda E. It is equation number 1. Similarly, with the help of same wavelength of proton energy, okay, you can write the same wavelength of a photon energy is, how can you write photon is lambda b equal to hc by E. From that you can write E equal to, what you can write, same hc by lambda b. It is equation number 2. Now squaring on both sides, then what you can get? Okay, squaring on both sides, what you can get? Very simple. Similarly, lambda is also we can written as squaring on both sides, then what you can get? Here I am squaring that, then lambda square equals to, in terms of energy and mass, what you can write? Generally already we know that by using de Broglie wavelength, what you can write? Lambda equal to h by pr. Okay, that momentum will be written as lambda equal to h by and root 2m ke. So electron here to MEK. I will write like that, or energy like that. Now I want to be squaring on both sides this equation. Squaring on both sides that de Broglie wave equation. Then what you can write? Lambda square or lambda E square equal to h square by 2me into E. To mass of electron into E. Then what you can write? Very simply you can written as here by using this one energy. E equal to, what you can write? Take this side and this one take that side, then h square by 2me and lambda E square. This is equation number 3. Now equation 2 and 3 both are equate. Both will be equate. Then what you can write? hc by lambda p, that equal to, here what we have, h square by 2me lambda E square. Then h get cancelled. Okay. Then h get cancelled. This one take this side and this one right this side. Then 2me lambda E square c, that equal to h lambda p. That means if these are all constant, if you take like that, then the relation lambda p directly proportional to lambda E square. By seeing this equation here, relation what we have, you can write like that, lambda p equal to lambda E square. Very simple equations. Okay. First we will write a wavelength of an electron with energy lambda equal to hc by E or E equal to hc by lambda E. It is equation number 1. Then the wavelength of photon. The wavelength of photon energy lambda p equal to hc by E or E equal to hc by lambda p. Now from de Broglie hypothesis equation lambda equal to h by p, already we know that p will be in terms of energy. What you can write now, squaring on both sides, then you can get lambda e square equal to h square by 2me into capital E. From that energy E equal to h square by 2me into lambda e square. Now compare these two, 1 and 2, equate the two because of energies are same. They gave us a condition here, same energy. So now these energy we want to be equal to 10. The final equation one H get cancelled and this one take this side and this one take this side. Then relation between these two lambdas are lambda p directly proportional to lambda e square. Clear? See here, one more problem given, that is if the momentum of an electron is changed by p, okay, momentum will be changed by p. Then the de Broglie wavelength associated with it changes by how much they gave, 0.5%. Then initial momentum of electron will be de Broglie hypothesis. Already we know from de Broglie equation. What you can write out by using the de Broglie hypothesis? Okay, what you can write, lambda equal to h by p. From that momentum p equal to what you can write, h by lambda. Okay, now here that de Broglie wavelength associated with it changes by how much it is, 0.5%. So I want to be write the change in lambda. So how can you write here? If you want to be taking this one as delta p by p equal to minus, it will become up na. So minus delta lambda by lambda, you can write easily. Why we will put here minus means it is in a denominator. If it want to be take upside, it will become minus. Then delta p means change in that will be given as changed by as p. So delta p is given as p here. And one more p, that is the initial. So I want to be write ini initial. Okay, P initial, that is equal to minus delta lambda. Okay, that minus delta lambda changes how much they give, 0.5%. So what we can write, 0.5 by 100. Then measure 0.5 means 1 by 2. The 2 will come to down. Then 1 by 200. So that you can take this side, then P initial momentum, that equal to 200 P. Okay, you can solve like this. Very simple sum. Clear? See here, the kinetic energy of an electron which accelerated in the potential difference of 100 volt. If any potential difference if will be applied, if electron can get accelerated, then the electron will gain the kinetic energy. The concept already will learn. So kinetic energy, when it is the electron is in motion, so which energy it possesses? Kinetic energy. So kinetic energy, that is K equal to what you can write? That is nothing but applied potential, that is E into V. Clear? Now they are asking this kinetic energy only. So K equal to E value, electron. Electron means what is the charge of electron? How much it is? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. And how much potential they are giving here? 100 volt potential, it is accelerating. Then kinetic energy K equal to what you can write? 1.6 into, this is 10 power minus 19 into 10 power 2. So plus 2 here minus 19, then kinetic energy K equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 17. It is nothing but in joules. Clear? Very simple sum. Kinetic energy K equal to when it is apply some accelerating potential. Then kinetic that electrons are moving. So for motional electrons, it possesses some kinetic energy. So kinetic energy K equal to EV. So kinetic energy K equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into 100. That means kinetic energy K equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into 10 power 2. That is 1.6 into 10 power 17. Like this models we have up to now, numericals we solved. Then next concept is, the concept is Heisenberg uncertainty of principle. Uncertainty principle. What it is? The matter wave picture elegantly incorporated Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay. What they gave? Incorporated the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, not Huygens. Okay, sorry. According to this principle, which Heisenberg, according to that principle, uncertainty principle, what we can write? At a time, at the same time, we cannot measure the position and as well as momentum at a time. We cannot measure it. That only here we wrote. What we wrote? It is not possible to measure. It is not possible to measure both. What? One is the position. Okay. And one more is the momentum of electron. Momentum of electron. So electron position and momentum both at a time we cannot measure exactly. Okay. That's only here. At the same time, exactly. That is the uncertainty principle. What it is? It is not possible to measure both position and momentum of an electron at the same time exactly. At the same time exactly. Okay, this is a Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Uncertainty principle. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. In this one, if we want to take a position, a little bit uncertainty that we can represent as delta x. So I want to be right. There is always some uncertainty, that is delta x in the specification of position. Similarly, specification of in momentum. That uncertainty, what it is, delta p, if you want to be considered. So there is always some uncertainty delta x in the specification of position and some uncertainty delta p in the specification of momentum. It is always will be there. Okay. That's why a little changes are there. So if you product of the two changes, delta x and delta p, it will give the order of A. It must be given that order. That is the uncertainty principle. That order will be given. How? The product of delta x and delta p. The product of delta x and delta p, it will give the order. Clear na? These are all about Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Next concept is what we are discussing now today. That concept up to here it is in syllabus, but Davison-Germer experiment one more is there. That is not in our PU syllabus. Only it is purely objective. Okay, for that purpose we are discussing that experiment, theory experiment. Okay, see here we have, it is completely objective. Actually it is in old syllabus we have for PU. No, it is completely for objective. Okay, Davison and Germer experiment. What they said to us, or you know, what the de Broglie gave the conclusions to us, that conclusions they experimentally proved. That is, the wave nature of particles, they can prove experimentally. Who? Davison and Germer. Okay, these two scientists are experimentally derived the wave nature of that particles. Theoretically as well as experimentally, both values are approximate, they will be equal. That only they proved. This is the main theme of that experiment. The wave nature of particles, the wave nature of electrons was experimentally measured here or demonstrated here. Okay, that is the Davison and Germer experiment. In this one, we have a vacuum chamber. We have a evacuated chamber. There is no gas or anything. Evacuated chamber means it is like that. Now, we have an electron gun and it have a filament. From that electron beam will pass. To get the accelerate that electrons, here we are arranged one accelerator. Okay, that electrons which are accelerated, they must be passed as in electron beam form, and it is placed on one nickel target which is placed at one corner. While the electron will move and hit the target, then what happens? They can scatter. That scattered angle we can call as theta. Okay, that point only here they give. Clear na? That scattered angle will detected by this galvanometer, which is movable collector. Clear na? Very simple. Here with the electronic gun, when we apply high tensional battery, then the electron beam will release from this filament in this evacuated chamber. That electrons are get accelerated through this hole or tube, okay, and it will pass as an electron beam. The electron beam will hit the nickel target and it will get scattered. This is the angle scattered. This angle of scattered will measured with moving detector. With the help of this moving detector. That point only here they give. See that? By moving detector on circular scale, is it circular or not? So upon the circular scale at different positions, the intensity of scattered electron beam measured for different values of angle of scattering. For which angle between incident and this one, incident and scatter. Clear? That angle only they are measuring here. That will be represented with theta. The variation of intensities, what they are measuring? The variation of intensities here theta. The variation of intensity of scattered electrons with an angle of scattering theta is obtained for different accelerating voltages. That voltages range will be where to where they measured 44 volt to 68 volt. Where to where they are measured 44 voltage to 68 voltage. Okay, 1 volt with variations, so they measured 44 volt to 68 voltage and the thetas they are mentioned. Okay. What they identified, what they noticed, that very strongly they confined. What is that? They noticed that a strong peak appeared, the intensity of I scattered electron at the accelerating or for the accelerating voltage, where 54 volt. How much it is? 54 volt. At the 54 voltage, it will give some maximum strong peak appeared in the intensity. Okay, at the scattering angle of 50 degrees. How much angle it is? At the scattering angle of 50 degrees. That is only. By using de Broglie wavelength of electron, already we know that de Broglie wavelength of electron lambda equal to h by p or 1.227 by root v according to accelerating potential. This formula shortcut already we learned. Okay, If you be substitute these all values here root 54, then it will be become as 0.167 nanometers it will come at the V equal to 54. In theoretically how much they explained, or you know that it is 0.165 nanometer. Experimentally how much it came? 0.167 nanometer. So excellent explanation for wave nature of electron. This experimental is excellent performance gives for wave nature of electron. I understand. This is the Davison and Germer experiment. Now, upon this, we are learning some objective bits. If you observe here, a small graphs are given at the voltage of, when they are giving that experiments of Davison and Germer, that acceleration voltage when it is at 44 degrees, that incident beam will be like this. Then it will comes what we are detected, that scattering angle. It appears as like this. At the 48 voltage, at the applying of 48 voltage, accelerating potential is 48 voltage. Then incident beam will be appears like that. So upon these, like that only 54 and 60, in which this shape will be very neat waveform. This is nothing but as a waveform. So it will explain it. It's a wave nature of that particles. That is only the experimental. So at 54 voltage, this wave nature it can explain it. Okay. This angle scatter of angle will be around 50 to 54, exact 50 at a 54 voltage. Scatter angle will be 50 at a 54. Okay, clear? Remember like that. Clear now? These are all Davison-Germer experiment. See here, upon the Davison and Germer experiment, here we are solving some numericals in it. Are you remember what is the main theme of Davison and Germer experiment? The theme will be they can explain the particle nature and wave nature. Experimentally they proved wave nature of that particle. Say yes or no? That is the main theme of this experiment. While they are trying to prove that at that time they are used one electronic beam. Say yes or no? So that means some electrons are released from filament. To release that electrons, what we are doing there? To get that electrons, we applied some accelerating potential. Increasing or in decreasing? Increasing manner. If you remember that point, you can solve this easily. See that what they are giving in that Davison and Germer experiment, the velocity of electrons emitted from the electron gun can be increased by how? Increasing the potential difference between anode and filament. Then only electrons are released from the filament and they are moved. And it is accelerated through a tube and finally they hit the nickel target. Already we learned that all. So what is the answer here? So answer is increasing the potential difference between anode and filament. Clear?